You know, when I think of my own life and the person you're seeing today, one thing that I can say to you right now is where you are right now is not where you're always going to be. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is that you might be going through, whatever it is that might be happening around you, know that your steps are ordered by the Lord. Mm. There was once a farmer. Well, he was an old farmer. Wait, I have to make my voice old. And one day he was walking by the mountainside and he saw something. It wasn't too small, it was oval shape, white, and he went over to the mountain ledge and he picked it up and he said, "Oh, wow, I think I found a chicken egg by the mountainside." You know, to a farmer, because he's a farmer, his perception is altered. So it doesn't matter where he sees an egg, he will think it's a chicken egg. So he took it home, and one of his chickens was really ready to sit on eggs. So he raised the chicken, and he put the egg underneath, and the chicken just sit on the egg. And weeks passed, and then they all hatched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this last one, he was a little bigger than the others, but he looked at himself and he said, I'm a chicken. So he realized that his mother took them into the yard of the chicken pen next to the coop, and she was just picking worms from the ground. And as she's picking the worms, and she's like, cluck, 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 and she's giving it to them, and he himself, he opened his mouth, and he's eating the worm like the other chickens, because that's all he knows. That's it. You see, sometimes our circumstances determine our destiny. And he's there, and he realizes that the other chickens, they will just go to the ground and they will be scratching the ground, like scratching the ground. He looked around and he realized, okay, that's what I have to do. I have to scratch the ground too. And he scratched the ground, and he was doing everything like a chicken because he thought he was a chicken. But one day, a scientist, a learned man, a man of the books, a man who knows more than an ordinary farmer, came over to the farm. He said, I want to let you know that this is not really a chicken you have here. This looks to me like an eagle. The chicken eagle overheard it. He said, me? I am an eagle? So the learned man said, I am going to put this to test for you. So he took the eagle and he walked over to just a ledge, and he put him on the ledge and he said, now, you are not a chicken. I don't want you to let your circumstances define you. I don't want you to think that because you're here among these chickens, that you must adopt their behavior and become one of them. You are an eagle. Fly. The eagle, the chicken, looked at the guy and said, and he just jumped down back to the ground because, you know, chickens fly low. And he jumped right back down to the ground. And the farmer, the old farmer now who thinks that he is such a man of wisdom said, you see, I couldn't prove your point. I told you it was a chicken. But the scientists didn't give up. Because you see, the scientist knows the behaviors of eagles. And he knows when he sees one. All the characteristics were present, but this eagle chicken couldn't see them. Couldn't see them. But he didn't give up. He came back to the farmyard again and he said, I know I failed the first time, that's a given, yes, but let's try this again. I am going to put him higher. So he went over and he found a higher ledge and he put him on the ledge. And he said to him, look, stop making your circumstances define you. Stop living on a lower level than the expectations that are placed over your life. He said, you were born to soar, fly. And the eagle chicken looked at him, looked at the farmer, looked at the ground where he thought he belonged, because he has never in his life seen an eagle flying, and he jumped right back down to the ground. Now the scientist is thinking, wow, really, what you believe about yourself can define your destiny. The story you continue to perpetuate becomes you. But then, one day, this chicken eagle was sitting alone in the farmyard, and something caught his gaze. He looked up into the sky and he saw a bird in flight. Beautiful, regal, amazing. And he looked in awe and longing and he said, wow. And something in him stirred up when he saw the eagle in flight. You see, if he had kept his gaze down, he would have continued to believe that he couldn't. But in order to soar, he had to keep his gaze up. And he looked up and he said, I think I can do that. Sometimes all he needed was an example. Someone who would be brave enough to soar even if they're living among chickens. And the scientist came the third time. And he said, Mr. Farmer, I do not give up easily. When I believe that there is a mark on something, and I believe that it is inherent in them to become their greatest, I will keep believing. and I will keep pushing. So I'm not going to give up on this bird. All this bird needs to do is change his mentality. He needs to be transformed. His mind needs to be renewed. So he took the bird again, and he put him a little higher. And he said, you're not a chicken. Yes, I am talking to you. You are not a chicken. I know you've been in this pen so long that you think that because all around you you're seeing chicken, that this has now become your identity. But you are not a product of your circumstances. You are not a chicken. He looked at him and he said, don't live a limited life. You are not a chicken. Change your story today. You were born to fly. You're an eagle. You are an eagle. There are no limits to the heights to which you can fly. You are an eagle. There is genius within you, but you must embrace it. And then the eagle repeated what the scientist said. He said, tentatively at first, I'm an eagle. And then more comfortably, I am an eagle. I was born to fly. I don't belong in the pen among the chickens. Even though I ate worms for a while and that was used as my definition and my identity, I don't belong in the pen. I was born to fly. I was born to soar. And as he said it, he opened his wings and he soared into the air. That's you. Whatever the circumstances you came from, whatever was used to define you, you had parents, you didn't have parents, this happened to you, you were traumatized, you came from dysfunctionalism, whatever it is that was used to define you, God is saying to you today, you are not a chicken. You're an eagle. You were meant to fly. So remember, go soaring and take his words for it when he says, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But I don't want you to understand this waiting as just sitting doing nothing. This waiting is the ability to stay on something until it's finished. You're going to stay in that place and focus on that thing amidst the distraction, and you're going to get it done. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint, or the other way around. If you don't remember anything else, remember, you're a chicken. See that? Look at that. If you don't remember anything else, and my mouth is going to work in accordance with me now, it's not going to give up on me. Okay, let me fix my tongue properly. Yes. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. You were born to fly. You are not a chicken. And I'm going to say it again. You are not a chicken. Stop roosting with the chickens. You are an eagle. Soar. Fly. Thank you.
Thank you. Guess we have to save the hens for the hen house. and learn to fly. The next thing we have is Saran Diallo to give a presentation.
Hello. So I just wanted to talk about how this year went from last year to now, growing. Last year, or a couple years ago, I was in a school that I wasn't doing so well in. I was doing good, I guess, but I guess I could have done a little better. So the next year went by and I went to a new school, Willowfield, and I'm doing a lot better. I've been succeeding more, getting more awards for extracurriculars. I've grown in many subjects, definitely math and reading. So to graduate from a school that brought me together is really great. My math test scores have been getting higher than it was in my old school. Reading lexicals have been getting higher, and I just want to thank Willowfield for that, and certainly my mom for making the change in schools. Thank you.
Clarabelle isn't here right now, but she's probably on her way back, I hope. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank Clarabelle, even though she's not here, for putting this program together, for having the thought and carrying it out. She did most of this, 90% of it anyway, by herself. She asked for a little help from people, and she received little help. But I just want to thank her for putting this program together so that things went successful. And if we can wait a few seconds, I would like everyone to clap for her when she comes in.